another stream, I guess. I'm just going to be reading the Germany's Basic Law, or the Grundgesetz, because I have nothing else or better to do. And I know this one is going to be my favorite to talk about or just read. I'm just going to read it, give out my thoughts, react to it, stuff like that. And I'll probably give some feedback in what I think about it too. Because for background, what happened with the Weimar Republic is that democracy didn't have protections per se. And what allowed Hitler, the mustache man, to use it to destroy democracy itself. Use democracy to destroy democracy. And it asked the big question, what if the will of the people turned against human dignity itself? Which is a good question. What? Alright, fixing there. Alright, I'm back. So, still there, still were. Okay, actually, I'm going to check my YouTube, making sure this still does work. So, alright, now, so. This still does work. Good. Actually, let me turn my volume, and I'll continue to stay in the stream on my own end, so I can read the chat. So, let's do this here. And I'll start beginning to read it. Because it has 146 articles, and we're going to be here for a long time. So let's go with article number 1. This is article number 1 here. Of course, it was about human dignity, human rights, legally abiding force, basic rights. Basically, because what happened with the Yazis, I'm sure we all know what happened there. All that. But originally, beforehand, because Germany was traumatized because of it, they created this in 1949 to prevent this from happening again. Actually, I think I should, after this, I might go into the history of what happened between Germany between 1945 and 1949, after the fall of the Nazis, and between that and the Grundgesetz. This is the English version, because I'm not perfectly good in German yet. So article number 1, human dignity, human rights, legally binding force of basic rights. Since number 1 here, human dignity shall be inviolable. To respect and protect it shall be the duty of all state authority. Which obviously is basic decency there. And this is why I love it. Human dignity, not just freedom, quote unquote, but human dignity, which is why I like it more, because it's also human dignity. Even if the mass people vote for it, it's still gonna get sent down and not be taken seriously, because human dignity matters the most over there. The German people there therefore acknowledge inviolable and inalienable human rights as the basis of every community, of peace and of justice in the world. Which, oh my, yes please, good. Sorry, I'm coughing, I'm still kind of sick. And number 3, the following basic rights shall bind the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary as directly applicable law. And oh my, yes, yes, and yes. That's what I like to see. An actual stable government so far. So far. Article number 2. Every person shall have the right to free development of his personality insofar as he does not violate the rights of others or offend against the constitutional order or the moral law. And every person shall have the right to life and physical integrity. Freedom of the person shall be inviolable. These rights may be interfered with only pursuant to a law. The sense of if it violates another law, like human dignity, and your freedom no longer exists in some sense. Equality before the law. Article 2 is personal freedoms. Article 3 is equality before the law. We got here. Number 1 here says all persons shall be equal before the law. Men and women shall have equal rights. But look at that! The state shall promote the actual implementation of equal rights for women and men and take steps to eliminate existing disadvantages. No person shall be favored or disfavored because of sex, parentage, race, language, homeland, and origin, faith, or religious or political opinions. No person shall be disfavored because of disability. Look at that. Look at that. It's called humanity. No person shall be disfavored because of disability. Oh, look. And homeland and origin. That too. I think that one should be highlighted here in the U.S. Especially because of nationalism. And it's very, meaningful to me and deeply personal in that sense. But one person. Homeland origin. One less than another. Which preemptively slaps down the idea that some people belong less than others. Now, homeland is especially good. It acknowledges ties to a place and culture without letting it justify exclusion. And not just don't discriminate on X or Y, it's all of the above. In one concise article, that's why it's so elegant. Article 4 here. We have what we're going to talk about. Alright. Article 4, freedom of faith and conscience. And one here says we got freedom of faith and conscience, and freedom to profess a religious or philosophical creed shall be inviolable. Oh, someone's in the chat. If you're there, say hello. And if you're in there in the chat, say hello then. This is number 2. The undisturbed practice of religion shall be guaranteed. No person shall be compelled against his conscience to render military service involving the use of arms, Details shall be regulated by a federal law. If I'm reading this correctly, I'm guessing it's talking about making sure you're not forced to sign up with the military, or be compelling us, be put against, forced into the military against their values. Ooh, I like this. I very like this, actually. We should especially using involving the use of arms, especially. Arguably, honestly, I like this. That's pretty good. Article 5. Freedom of expression in arts and sciences. When every person shall have the right freely to express and disseminate his opinions on speech, writing, and pictures, and to inform himself without hindrance from generally accessible sources. Freedom of the press, and freedom of reporting by means of broadcasts and films shall be guaranteed. There shall be no censorship. But, overall, in most cases, sure. But let me continue there. Finish this first. These rights shall find their limits in the provisions of general laws. These rights shall find their limits in the provisions of general laws, in provisions for the protection of young persons, and in the right to personal honor. Arts and sciences, research and teaching shall be free. The freedom of teaching shall not release any person from allegiance to the Constitution. Shall not release any person from allegiance to the do I? Blind me into the Constitution is only one thing, but in this case, I think it could be a good thing. The Grundgesetz, I would genuinely have, if I'm reading this correctly, Article 6 now. Marriage, family, children. Ooh, I have 5 of them here. So 3. I like this. Marriage. Hold on. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a while here. So let's go back here. Right. Marriage, family, and children. One marriage and the family shall enjoy the special protection of the state. The care and upbringing of children is a natural right of parents and a duty primarily incumbent upon them. The state shall watch over them in the performance of this duty. Children may be separated from their families against the will of parents, only pursuant to a law, and only if the parents agree to have the duties or the children otherwise in danger of serious neglect. And stuff. The first one I was getting worried about in the first bit, but we'll do the rest. Okay, fair and actually good reason for there. Every mother shall be entitled to the protection and care of the. Okay, yeah, that's good. And children born outside of marriage shall be provided by legislation with the same opportunities for physical and mental development and for the position in society are enjoyed by those born within marriage. Yeah, so children are born. If I remember, children born before marriage, before in the sense of before their parents were married, or I think seen as less for some reason. them against their will, which is really weird. Like, I don't understand. Like, literally had no relationship to them. They had a choice on that. Huh. Number 7, school system. Ooh. And 6 here. The entire school system shall be under the supervision of the state, which I'm not sure about the wording of that. I think I know what they're trying to go for here, but the wording could set off some alarms here. Parents and guardians shall have the right to decide whether children shall receive a religious instruction. Sounds, yeah, I would be agreeing with that. Nope. Children, it's the only thing I'm disagreeing with. Is alright, I'm gonna go back there. Alright, let me just... Alright, this one I would disagree with, because I don't think children should be growing up with religion itself. What? Hey. Huh. Parents can choose whether their kids learn religion at school, which is a massive defer to parents to move, rather than prioritizing the children's autonomy or freedom from indoctrination. Children can't consent, for one. In this case, literally, this is a violation of consent. This one I would definitely disagree with here, for a whole lot of reasons. Children, once you cannot consent, and if you're going to do this with children, ew, disgusting. Their minors literally are not able to critically assess religious doctrines, leaving the choice to parents can impose beliefs before kids can even have the tools to think for themselves, which is in a way literally what indoctrination means. This adds common sense. So we're principle here from a human rights or dignity standpoint, forcing children into religious instruction, even indirectly, is ethically fraught. Article 1 literally says human dignity could be argued to clash here. It says this: shouldn't children's right to form their own beliefs come first? This is my human dignity. This right here literally violates article number 1. Literally the first article. And there's a reason why it's article number 1. This is about human dignity. This, oh no, I can't. No. Somebody, you let me, the Grundgesetz, no. Oh no. Equality beliefs. If schools teach religion at all, even optional, it risks privileging some beliefs culturally and socially. And kids who opt out could feel othered, stigmatized, or confused. I think in historical context, Germany included this clause post-World War II, partly because religion was still influential socially, but also to balance church influence and parental authority. It's a compromise between the state and not imposing religion, compared to retaining a traditional authority. But I'm saying this from the child's perspective, which certainly was the priority, and that's why I'm going to disagree here. Here, I love humanity, I love freedom, and yet here, the Grundgesetz basically says kids are under parental authority to learn religion. But shouldn't the child themselves get a say before being introduced to ideas that can shape their entire worldview? Next one, we get religious instruction. Religious instruction shall form part of the regular curriculum in state schools. Nope. 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 Again, nope. Nope. With the exception of non-denominational schools, without prejudice to the state's right of supervision, religious instruction shall be given in accordance with the tenets of the religious community concerned. Teachers may not be obliged against their will to give. Teachers themselves are not going to be informed because they don't have to give those. If I'm reading this right. Oh, good point. Okay, that's there. Oh, there's a safety protocol there, but yet again. The right to establish private schools shall be guaranteed. Nope. Nope, please. The church is I don't call it religious ceremony like a church. A private school, I would not call that. Private schools that serve as alternatives to state schools that require the approval of the state and shall be subject to laws of the landia. So approval shall be given where private schools are not inferior to the state schools in terms of the educational aims of the facilities of the professional training of their teaching staff, or while segregation of pupils according to the means of the parents will not be encouraged thereby. Approval shall be withheld from the economic and legal position of the teaching staff and is not adequately assured. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What do you mean, what are we doing?
No. I'm busy here.
Oh. Want me to lay down? Am I allowed?
No, don't talk while I'm on stream, dude. A private elementary school shall be approved only if the education authority finds it that it serves a special educational interest, or if on the application of parents or guardians it shall it is to be established as a denominational school, or as in a school based on a particular philosophy. Or as a school based on a particular philosophy, no elementary school of that type exists in the municipality. Preparatory schools shall remain abolished. Ooh, what are preparatory schools actually? Okay, one here. What does that mean? Is an independent educational institution focused on rigorous academics and prepare students for higher education, especially college. Reform the system to reduce early academic where young children enter some puppet. I probably the ban systems from the 30th. Although I 200 kids, homeschooling in itself, I do think that homeschooling in itself could, other than banning it, but limiting it instead of going as a first source, of course. We're going to don't allow kids to go to school. Bhutan, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, and okay. Bhutan does not have citizens or child residents. Fair point. Pakistan doesn't, or does not have any children at all there, which is fair. Not a proper country. Solomon Islands. Like funny. Papua New Guinea. That confuses me. And Bhutan. Why what's going on in Bhutan? Huh? They're like islands like Papua New Guinea. I can see maybe Papua. Bhutan? That scares me. Compulsory. Oh. But the tuition fee was done in 2014 in Germany, 16 states, Republic. Also, ooh, they've had free education, which is good. Some countries have highly regulated homeschooling programs as an extension of the compulsory school system. Others, such as Germany, have outlawed it entirely. Have homeschooling is okay now. The recent. Ooh, the youth rebellion in 1968 and oh, I knew. Ooh, that interests me. Oh, oh yes. Ooh. Used what? Ah. Okay. '68ers. The six. Oh, oh yes, please. The '68. Where was this? Held in? Cause I said where exactly Western? Part of Western exactly. It seems like it's. Ooh, the Western '68. Ah. Ooh, new sports team name. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Ooh, I like that. Oh, oh, I like this. Oh, I'm gonna look more into this. I'm gonna look more into that after this, actually. We're gonna do Article 8, 9, and 10, and then we're permitting this for now, because I don't want to go in and do this for too long, because I don't have all the time in the world. Article 8, freedom of assembly. All Germans should have the right to assemble peacefully and unarmed without prior notification or permission. Okay, good. Protest is a human right. In the case of outdoor assemblies, this right may be restricted by a to a law. That sounds a bit. If it obstructs like vehicles in the sense of like some people need to like get some places in an emergency. Yeah, there's a protesters in the way. Then understandable. In that case, that might be a reasonable exception. But otherwise, you're teetering on something dangerous there. Article 9. All Germans shall have the right to form societies and other associations. Associations whose aims or activities contravene the criminal laws or that are directed against the national order or the conception of international understanding shall be prohibited. Okay? So, that's basic. But when the U.S. gets order in the sense of the U.S., for if some reason, it, which depends. The right to form associations to safeguard and improve working and economic conditions should be guaranteed to every individual and to every occupation or profession. Agreements that restrict or seek to impair this right shall be null and void. Oh, yes. Oh, that part right there is fuck it. They love the worker there. Measures directed to this end shall be unlawful to this end. Ooh, measures taken pursuant to Article 12A, which we'll talk about at another time. Then to paragraphs 2 and 3 of Article 35, and paragraph 4 of Article 87, and to Article 91. May not be directed against industrial disputes engaged by associations within the meaning of the first sentence of this paragraph. In order to safeguard and improve working and economic conditions. Interesting. And Article 10. Privacy of correspondence, posts, and telecommunications. The privacy of correspondence, posts, and telecommunications shall be inviolable. Restrictions may be ordered only pursuant to a law if the restriction serves to protect the freedom and democratic basic order or the existence of or security of the federation of a land. The law may provide that the person affected shall not be informed or of the restriction, and the recourse to the courts shall be replaced by review of the case by agencies and auxiliary agencies appointed by the legislator. Not sure how to feel about that one. 'Cause I think okay. Yep, that's good. Yep. I had to reread it again. Yep, that's good. So far, Article 7 is the only one I've had disagreements with so far. Article 7 is the only one I've had disagreements so far. Which, fine, I guess. I'll take that. But alright, since I definitely don't have anything else, so there's no way I'm reading all of it right now. I do not have that time. It is already midnight. I say 12:10 a.m. When I get time, maybe tomorrow, probably till Sunday. When I do get time, then I'll get there and do things about it, but not now. But I need it, essentially, obviously. So I'll see you